The Roman Republic, one of the most advanced civilizations the world had seen at this time, powerful in both war and technology, risen from a relatively small city and developed to the largest empire in all of Europe. What factors led to its fall? To understand why the Roman Empire split apart, we need to look at its origins. The Roman constitution was supposed to be better than every other, and especially better than the monarchy. Thus, a special system similar to modern-day democracy was introduced. For the majority of Rome's history, it was at war. They had unparalleled legions, but all the soldiers needed to be fed. That was the job of the public land, the ager publicus, that allowed anyone to provide food for themselves. These public lands were purchased by the rich, leaving no rent for the rest. The Gracchi brothers wanted to change this and started working on reinventing an old law that allowed everyone to only possess so much land. However, they got killed and their reforms were undone by Gaius Marius, who was granted to ignore those in war. Marius was elected as one of the consuls in 104 before Christus, for which he was re-elected 6 times, made reforms to the military, and emerged victorious in a lot of wars, together with his general Lucius Cornelius Sulla Felix. This general got elected as a consul in 88 before Christus, and received the command to march to the kingdom of Pontus with his army. After leaving Rome, he got the message that Marius would be in command in Pontus. Sulla with his troops then started an attack on Rome to defend himself against Marius' influence. Marius, not being prepared and only seeing defeat, proceeded to flee from the city to his veterans in Africa, resulting in Sulla capturing Rome. After that, 2 new consuls were elected, Gnaeus Octavius, a supporter of Sulla, and Lucius Cornelius Cinna, a supporter of the exiled Marius. Cinna was able to unite 10 legions under his banner, and with the help of Marius, recaptured Rome, while also killing significant supporters of Sulla, including Octavius. In 86 BC, Cinna and Marius were elected as consuls. However, Marius passed away a few days into his 7th consulship, allowing Sulla to reclaim control of Rome and make himself dictator. This went against Rome's policy of not giving one individual ultimate power. At the end of 81 BC, he resigned his dictatorship, but later got elected as a consul for the year 80 BC. After his consulship ended, he retired and died of old age in 78 BC. He was the first person in Roman history to achieve power over Rome by force and was the first dictator in the Roman Republic. Sulla's military coup permanently destabilized Rome's power structure and was later an example for other ambitious Romans, with Caesar being the most prominent and successful one. This is where it all went down. Marcus Lucinius Crassus, also known as the richest man in Rome, was a Roman politician and general who played a key role in the transformation of the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire. He started out as a military commander under Sulla's command, and after the start of Sulla's dictatorship, Crassus gained enormous fortune through real estate speculation. He was a political and financial supporter of Julius Caesar, and therefore joined the unofficial political alliance, the First Triumvirate, with Caesar and Pompey the Great. Crassus was a lifelong ally of Caesar, but Crassus and Pompey disliked each other. Following his 2nd consulship, Crassus was appointed governor of Roman Syria, which he then used as a launchpad in the war against the Parthian Empire. This war was a big fail and led to his death. His death unraveled the alliance between Pompey and Caesar. His political influence and wealth acted as a counterbalance between the two militarists, and without him, the alliance soon fell apart. Hence, 4 years after his death, Caesar started a civil war against Pompey and the Optimates. Knowing that the civil war was in Caesar's favor, Pompey's only remaining option was to flee. Caesar pursued his now political enemy through Spain, Greece, and eventually Egypt. In the latter, the pharaoh Ptolemy VIII, fearing Caesar's legions and power, slaughtered Pompey and returned Caesar his head as an offering. Caesar ignored this notion of peace, sided with the pharaoh's wife, Cleopatra, and killed the young pharaoh, leaving Cleopatra all the wealth and power of Egypt. Caesar returned to his conquest of eradicating any remaining supporters of Pompey the Great in the African, Spanish, and Middle Eastern regions. Finally, 46 BCE, Julius Caesar became Rome's dictator, where he made a plethora of changes, all varying from granting more people Roman citizenship to increasing the size of the Senate, from reducing the government's debt while supporting its military veterans, regulating the distribution of grains to the creation of this Julian calendar, and so on and so forth. In 44 BCE, Caesar proclaimed himself as a dictator for life, which the Senate didn't fancy. The same year, senators backstabbed him, both figuratively and literally. It can be seen as the assassination of the now deceased dictator led to the crumble of the Roman Republic, as only cycles of civil wars followed. The heir was Gaius Octavius Turinus, Caesar's grandnephew and adopted son. Despite already being the successor to control all of Rome, the transition of power didn't come easily. The Senate was left undecided between him and the powerful rival Marcus Antonius. Henceforth, Octavius battled him, and after emerging victories, he decided to spare his life and create an alliance instead, the Second Triumvirate. The third member was Marcus Aemilius Lepidus, a Roman statesman, general, and ally of Julius Caesar. The three of them dissected the lands into thirds, with the latter becoming in charge of Africa, Mark Anton gaining control of the west and leaving the east to Octavian. However, Lepidus was quick to be ousted after the renewal of the Triumvirate, and tensions between Octavius and Mark Anton were on the rise, after forming political and romantic ties with Cleopatra and divorcing Octavius' sister. In 31 BC, Octavius declared war on his former rival and fought out the naval battle commonly referred to as the Battle of Actium. Cleopatra barely managed to rescue her Antony, and together they fled back to Egypt, where they commit a double suicide. Between the years of 31 BC and 27 BC, Octavius obtained the throne and was renamed Augustus. He pleased all members and parties of the Roman society, whether it was repaying all of the soldiers, relaxing rules and laws infringing upper classes, or simply improving the aesthetics of the cities, appeasing even the commoners. Similar to his predecessors, he also made many positive, lasting changes, which improved the daily lifestyles of his people. Throughout his 40-year-long reign, despite only doubling Rome's territory, Augustus created new roads as well as the Roman postal service to keep the empire unified. He strengthened the power of the empire's provinces and established the Praetorian Guard. When Augustus died in 14 current era, he had created the following 200 years of peace. This period, also known as Pax Romana, was a time of where war and civil unrest was at its lowest in Rome's history. That day, Augustus, just like his father, Julius, was declared as an epic PvP god. Yeah, boy! Okay, now, on a serious note, I hope you enjoyed this kind of different video. If you would like to see more of those kinds of videos, make sure to leave it in the comments. Other than that, if some parts of the video were too fast for you, I will pin the script in the comments as well, so you can just read it there. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed and have a great day.